Last week, single-handedly, a governing party in Northern Ireland has announced that it will end agreed Brexit checks. What is an electoral maneuver now threatens the balanced situation in the former Civil War region. The dispute over Brexit special rules for Northern Ireland endangers stability in the region of the island. The negotiations between Brussels and London are threatened with a severe setback and the end of the regional government in Belfast. According to observers, this could significantly exacerbate the tense situation in the former Civil War region. The ruling Democratic Unionist Party, the DUP, which received backing from the British government, is primarily responsible for the explosive development. The EU Commission and the neighbouring EU member Ireland were appalled by the advance. In protest against the Brexit regulations, the DUP announced on Wednesday that it wanted to stop the customs checks on British imports agreed with the EU and ratified and signed, by the way. According to the EU Commission on Thursday evening, these were still carried out. First Minister Paul Givan of the DUP announced his resignation. This means that the carefully balanced unity government between the Unionist DUP, which advocates the union with Great Britain, and the Republican Party Sinn Féin, which is striving for reunification with Ireland, cannot continue in its current form. Sinn Féin's equal Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill must also step down. The consequences of this are unforeseeable. Observers fear a phase in which the region is politically paralyzed. But the main concern is that the situation on the streets will escalate again. In recent months, supporters of the union with Great Britain have been rushing against the customs border in the Irish Sea. Masked men twice stopped a bus, chased the driver away, and set the vehicles on fire. Slogans and threats could be read on many of the walls. Although the DUP criticized the violence, it did add fuel to the fire. Party leader Jeffrey Donaldson has repeatedly announced that he will withdraw his ministers if London does not withdraw from the Northern Ireland Protocol, which he described as economic madness. And I have to say, Donaldson then has no idea of economics. This document, negotiated by London and Brussels in the wake of Brexit, stipulates that, unlike the rest of the UK, Northern Ireland will remain a member of the EU customs union and single market. This is intended to avoid a hard border with EU member Ireland in order to avoid new tensions and violence from the, advocates of reunification. However, this resulted in an intra-British customs border. Food from Great Britain is subject to checks. Loyalists fear this will weaken ties with London. The regulation, which British Prime Minister Boris Johnson himself signed, has long been a thorn in his side. This is one of the reasons why the government in London immediately signaled backing for the DUP plans. Yeah, they love rule-breaking and law-breaking, obviously. Foreign Minister Liz Truss also confirmed that stopping the Brexit checks was a matter for the Northern Irish executive. And that's explosive, because Truss is currently negotiating changes to the protocol with EU Deputy Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič, and that also happened on Thursday. We urgently need progress, Truss wrote on Twitter after a conversation with Šefčovič. The priority remains to maintain peace and stability in Northern Ireland. What a liar, but that seems to be a custom in that government. Progress is urgently needed. Talks are scheduled to continue in London this week Friday. The EU Commission initially reacted cautiously to the DUP's solo effort, which was criticized as an election campaign maneuver. They called on the UK government to honour its international commitments. The chair of the Internal Market Committee in the EU Parliament, Anna Cavazzini, and the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, David McAllister, made similar statements. Irish EU Commissioner Merit McGuinness was clearer. This is a clear breach of international law, she told Irish broadcaster RTE, and she said, "This announcement has created uncertainty and unpredictability and not stability at all, so I don't see the point of this move." Even years after the peace agreement, loyalists and Republicans in Northern Ireland are still a long way from reconciliations. They still live separately and send their children to different schools. In Belfast, so-called peace walls separate the neighborhoods. Just under a year ago, there were new riots at this border. Young people threw Molotov cocktails. And now new riots are feared. And I really fear that they are putting too much oil in the fire there. I'll see you in my next video. Bis gleich.